Hey guys, I'm gonna be answering a question that's been on my mind, and it's is the 3DS even worth buying in 2025? No, short answer, I'm gonna tell you guys no. Wait to hear my explanation before you guys start ranting on the comment section, as I do have my reasons for saying that you shouldn't. So let's get into them right now. First of all, we have just the scalped price of the 3DS right now. You can hardly find them for at good deals right now. It's utterly insane what these sellers are honestly charging for such an old console at this point. And the worst part is we don't really have a choice to pay for it, as emulation just isn't that great for this console, but still. I don't think the prices really have any signs of slowing down. It's just so frustrating seeing them being sold at such high prices. And this is good for someone who owns two 3DSs. I own the original model from 2011 and the XL Refresh, the new model, and both of them are fine. I got them at decent deals. I got the new 3DS at around $110. In a rare case like that, I would tell you, yeah, go pick up the new 3DS. But otherwise, I don't suggest doing it. Okay, before I move on to my next point, I want you to think for a second. If you really want a 3DS, what are some games you want to play? Think of a few. Try to think of five. If you can easily list like 5 games that you actually want to play all the way through, then this part does not apply to you. I see a lot of people think that 3DS is just the ultimate handheld to get, and they want it just because they want to play a whole bunch of games, which is good. It has a lot of games, it has a lot of good games that you'll probably find out some undiscovered gems if you have it. But if you really want it for the reason of, oh, I just want a cool handheld, I wouldn't suggest the 3DS. Rather, I'll suggest one of these Android emulators like the Retroid Pocket 5, the Retroid Pocket Flip 2. That's a good one. If you really want flip screens, you could pay a little bit of a premium to get the Iron Thor or one of the dual screen handhelds coming up. And the reason I mentioned these emulation handhelds for that specific audience is just because they can do way more. They can emulate so much more consoles. You can even play Android games natively, and Android can do a lot of things. Android can even emulate PC games now. So that's why I tell people that just want a general handheld not to pick the 3DS and to pick up something else. I would suggest even a Vita is better than that, as the Vita just had more standard third-party ports. Like, look at me for a second and compare Rayman Origins on the 3DS to Rayman Origins on the Vita. It's just a world of difference. I know I kind of touched up on emulation. I said that it's not very good for the 3DS, but it does suffice if you just want to play the games and you don't care about the feel. And the good thing about emulation is that you can put those games like 4x resolution and they will start to look amazing. Especially since if you're probably doing emulation, the pixels are just going to be blasted on an even larger screen and more pixel density. So just boosting up the native resolution is going to be really good. One of the reasons I personally think you shouldn't be picking up a 3DS in 2025. They're just so overpriced right now. It's ridiculous. Along with the other two reasons I mentioned. But there are some reasons why you should pick up a 3DS. Number one, if you were able to name those 5 games, I suggest you pick up a 3DS. Maybe one of the cheaper options like the OG 3DS if none of them are new 3DS games. Or maybe you could pick up the OG 2DS if you do not care about the 3D functionality. If you're in the group, I give you the green light and try to find a good deal, right? And if you were able to find an extreme deal, like I remember I was scrolling on Facebook Marketplace someday and I saw a new Nintendo 3DS XL for like $20, dude. In that case, pick it up. That's a no-brainer right there. Even if you're not going to use it that much, it's a $20 handheld system. Like, what better deal are we talking about here? Okay, now if you absolutely despise emulation, then this is obviously the only way to go. In that case, I literally can't sway you any other way. You're going to have to buy a new 3DS or just old 3DS, doesn't matter. If you're in that group, I don't know why you're watching this video. You weren't going to get swayed anyway. Anyone to tell you anything, and you weren't going to make up your mind about it. I mean, make up your mind. I mean, you're going to be firm with your decision of, I hate emulation. I want to play it the real way. In that case, go buy yourself a 3DS. There's nothing more nobody could say. Now, if you still are trying to buy a 3DS after watching this, maybe the basic tips on buying one of these, even though I feel like everyone knows these, I just want to reiterate these in case someone doesn't. First of all, buy a Japanese system. They're way cheaper because the Japanese people just think it's uncool to buy these old tech consoles. At least that's what I heard. You can really find the exact same system at a cheaper cost. You can even find some cool colors that weren't released in your region probably. I'm from the North American region, and there are some cool editions that just weren't released over here. Secondly, if you're not modding your 3DS when you're buying it, I really don't know what you're doing. If you intend on picking up a 3DS this late, you have to mod at this point. Because buying games, some games are extremely expensive. It's ridiculous. And why does it matter? You're not even supporting the people that actually made the games when you're buying the games. You're just buying off some random seller on eBay or whatever you're buying it off of. Of course, modding can be used for a lot of other things other than just free games. You can change up a game by adding some mods to it. Other than those two reasons, maybe like free themes and customization, I honestly think that everything else that the 3DS offers is honestly gimmicks in terms of the modding community. People always love to express, oh, 3DS modding is just limitless. It's a lot of gimmicks, in my opinion, that you won't really be using ever. And that goes to say for most consoles, most of the time, you're modding it for free games. Let's be honest. Alright, now let's move on to which models of this console that you should buy in this big age. Honestly, I don't think there's any console that you should buy directly. I think there's just one console that you shouldn't buy, and that's the OG 3DS. The buttons are so uncomfortable. Even if you're playing for like 10 minutes, your hands will just get tired and worn out from them. They're not good. For me personally, I don't have that large of hands, so the system size itself isn't bad. It's just everything else surrounding it that's honestly really bad. And the stylus is so skinny too. That's just something else. That's something a little nitpicky. Now, what is the model I absolutely do recommend is the new 3DS non-XL actually. Me personally, I don't have that big of hands. If you do have big hands, go for XL. Either the new 3DS XL or just the non-new 3DS XL. Probably depending on what kind of deal you find, since the new library of games is not that big. Firstly, so the new 3DS is honestly just a perfect size for carrying around and just playing at home. I don't have it, but I felt it in my hands before. I've seen it. It's great. Another good thing about going with the new 3DS or the new 3DS XL is the fact that if you get any of the metallic colors for the new 3DS XL, after a lot of hand and sweat rubbing onto the plates, they'll actually start to wear off. Of course, you wear a clear case on your 3DS, but that's just a bit annoying that I can't rock it raw, as I will rock most of my consoles raw, which I probably should not be doing, seeing the condition that my Nintendo Switch is in. Anyways, don't mess yourself over, don't overpay, and probably don't buy a 3DS. I'll see you guys later. God bless y'all. Have a nice day.